Welcome, everybody, to the Hounds Tales podcast. This is your home for field trialing and deer dog hunting. It'll be stories and discussions on the world of dog hunting. So let's drop the gate, cast your hounds, and get ready for another episode of the Hounds Tales podcast. Welcome, everybody, to the Hounds Tales podcast. In this episode, we're going to be finishing up our conversation with Mr. Dan Braman and the Melon Ranch Hounds. If y'all have missed the first part of this episode, please go back and check out last week's episode. It definitely is an amazing one. It's I know it's a little different than what we're used to, guys, but I promise you it is a solid listen. It's definitely a lot of cool hunting stories, talking about dogs and how Mr. Braman was brought up and the introduction of Melon Ranch. So if you did not get to listen to that, be sure to go back and check that one out. And then also don't forget to go through and finish this episode. I promise you, down towards the end, it is worth the listen. We hit a closing topic that we've talked about a lot, but it's hit on a completely different level this time, and I think y'all would really enjoy that. So I definitely appreciate everybody listening. If you have not yet, please, whatever listening platform you're on, please go like, subscribe, and don't feel like you can't do it. Please share this podcast, guys. Ready for this thing to grow some more. We've kind of had a little bit of a ceiling, so we're trying to make this thing grow a little bit more and keep going on with what we're doing, guys. So let's rock and roll into the daily quotes and or weekly quotes, and Bible verses for the week. The quote that I found, I didn't see an author behind it, but it says, "In the tracks of the wild, we find our own path and our own purpose." I really like that one. And then our Bible verse is a classic, but it really is a good one, and I think it always bodes well to hear again. It's all I can do all things through him who strengthens me, or I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That's Philippians 4:13. I know that's a very popular one, but it's always powerful. So, all right. And then real quick, I didn't see many hunts going on this weekend, especially multi-day hunts. So we're going to hit the Flower Hill hunt real quick before we even get into the episode. Mr. Bill Howell had the pen rocking, guys, absolutely rocking. And I'm sure you probably saw the scores and thought, maybe I was expecting a little bit more. Well, we had 11 judges total, including me and Mr. Howell. Mr. Howell was a little under the weather, so he did stay out and judge some, but he couldn't stick out and judge and, push himself any. So I definitely appreciate everything that he did do. And then he had a couple guys that did show up, and they hustled for about 2 hours. They kind of come in last second just to help out, and helped us out as much as possible, and then had to go about at the 11 o'clock hour. So the majority of the hunt, we were at 8 judges. So we had 8 judges in the pen. I put in over 1,000 1,000 inputs into the scoreboard, into the scores. So it's 1,000 scores that were able to be inputted with pretty much eight judges, for the entirety of the hunt. That's hustling. Scores were super, super tight. It was right at 100 points between 1st and 15th. And let me see, it was 66 points between 1st and 10th. So literally anybody's game, 2 crossings could have made the difference, guys. But at the end of the night, it was Little T's Honeybee, and that dog's out of Clayton's Hillbilly, and H&G's Little Bit from Little T Kennels that took the win home. So we have the pools hunt coming up. I still have a pile of numbers left, guys. If you are interested in running in the hunt, please contact me. I will be glad to give you numbers. I got plenty to give out, still have great numbers available. So don't hesitate. Would love to be able to get y'all in. We'll definitely need some more participation in this one, guys. I was a little slack, and the guys that I did take forever to get back to, I do apologize, and I really do hate that I kind of dropped the ball on this one. So, but we're still planning on a good hunt. Got a lot of good judges lined up, and I think we're going to have a good time, guys. So, Without further ado, let's finish this episode up, and we will be back next week with more guest opportunities. All right, guys. Thank y'all so much for listening. Like, subscribe, and all right, like always, drop the gate. The Hounds Tales podcast is proud to partner with Outdoor Dog Supply again for the 2025 season. Outdoor Dog Supply is the leader in online garment sales with their world-class trade-in programs. These guys are not just a business, they're also houndsmen and women too. They test their products out in the field and really put them to the test. Get the latest in garment equipment, stay locked and ready with field trial equipment, collars, leashes, and so much more. Visit their website today at outdoordogsupply.com, and we want to thank Outdoor Dog Supply for their support not only for the podcast, but in the field trials across the country. When you're looking for your next purchase and equipment, keep Outdoor Dog Supply in mind. Now let's get this episode started, guys. Thank y'all so much. When do you start working these dogs? At what age? Is it a really young age?
6 months.
6 months. Okay, so it's about like anything else up here.
Yeah, and I don't do any. I recently just wrote an article for the Cat Hunter magazine about this, but I don't do anything with them but figure out their personalities and get them to handling between weaning and 6 months.
Right.
But I don't do any drags. I don't do any traps. I don't do any of that. They just get loaded up in the dog crate, and when I turn the old dogs out, they get out.
Yep.
Most of the time, you lose them that day.
Right.
There's a few exceptions, but most of the time they wander off and they get lost, and I don't go get them.
Yeah.
I let them get worried about it.
Yep.
And then go back later, pick them up, and usually you only do that at the most 2 times, and then they'll stay with you there.
People do not realize me and you are. I love it. I love this because that's how I do my deer dogs. And a lot of people look at me very strange as I will turn them loose close to the house enough to where they can figure it out. And I turn them loose with old dogs, and I got a collar on them so I can go back and find them. But
yeah, me too.
They're going to have, if they don't make it back within 24 hours, they're going to have a night out.
Yeah.
They're going to get to the point where they have to use their heads. They got to show me some smartness to get back home. And like you said, after about the second time of doing that, normally they're going to make it back.
Yeah.
They're going to make it back.
It makes a big difference.
Yep. And I think it makes a dog mature faster.
It does make them mature faster because they have to start thinking for themselves.
Right.
Because they spend from weaned until you start hunting all together. And my puppy pen is big.
Yeah.
Compared to most, but be that as it may, they're all together.
Right.
And then all of a sudden they wander off out there in the pasture and they look around and there's nobody there.
Yep.
And I think it works wonders because they all of a sudden want to be with those other dogs.
Yep. And I had one, and it was a buddy of mine. He was first set of hounds, and he was worried to death. This dog, and we turned it loose, gone in. This dog got down to a bottom. The chase left him, and the dog squatted and was howling.
Oh,
He's like, I got to go get this dog. I'm like, you leave that dog right there. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
Leave that dog alone. And we left it alone and sat down there for about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. And we come back later, and the dog had figured out, hey, nobody's coming back for me. I got to figure this out. I got to go do this on my own. And that dog never locked up again the rest of its life.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It works for me anyway.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Seems like in today's day and time, the biggest difference between those of us that are successful, regardless what we run,
right,
is they get that line confused of tool versus pet.
Right.
And I don't feel like you can confuse that line.
No. Cannot.
You can certainly have a pet, and they'll make a good one.
Oh yeah, God.
But there's not many of them that will be a good pet and a good hunt dog.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, my dogs will come up to me in a lot, and I can pet them, I can play with them, I can bounce them around and stuff like that. But when they see that dog box door open,
different story.
It's a switch. I mean, They're not worried about touching you. They're not worried about coming up to you. They are business, and that comes from, like you said, when it's time to work, it's time to work. They are a tool at that point. Yep.
Yeah. For mine, when the collars go on, it's business.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I love it. Yeah. I'm 110% with you, and I think I was raised old school. I guess you could call it now. Would be the old school way.
Yeah,
hell, we didn't have our first tracking collars. My dad still doesn't run tracking collars.
I'm gonna tell you. I think I was probably 20. I'm 55 now. I was probably 28 or 9 before I got my first telemetry collar.
It was 29. Go ahead.
Yeah, that would have been what, 1997 or 8.
Mm-hmm.
And all I had was Tritronics.
It was 2019 before I ever hung a tracking collar on a dog.
Mm-hmm. And I still, to this day, man, I get lazy sometimes.
Yep.
I won't put tracking collars on them.
I don't blame you.
I mean, I need to run the dogs, but I really don't feel like it. Weather sucks or whatever.
Right.
Screw with the tracking collar, just throw them in and go.
Mm-hmm.
I might not take the puppies.
Yep.
Because they'll need a correction, but the broke dogs, they don't need it.
Right. They're going to do what they need to do.
Yeah. And in a lot of ways, I think that no doubt that the Garmin absolutely revolutionized hound hunting.
Yes.
But I also think in a lot of ways it made hunters not as good because they start being able to pay attention more to what's going on and they start trying to help the dog too much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the end result of that is, they get in a little bit of a bind or they get a little into a confusing situation.
Yep.
And they stop hunting going, hey, where are you at? You going to show me where he went?
Right.
And I think that happens a lot.
Yep. I tell people all the time, they're like, oh, it stopped. It boogered up in the road. I said, leave it alone.
Yeah, just
leave it alone.
Let it happen.
He's got to figure it out.
Let him go. Like my dogs, sometimes, it doesn't happen very often, but sometimes on a super dark night,
mm-hmm.
on a really tall tree for here, not for where you are.
Right.
The cat will be in a tree, and I know he's in a tree because nothing's barking.
Mm-hmm.
And they won't bark. They won't locate. But they're all standing in a circle as big as this room on my GPS. Right. And I know that cat's in a tree right there.
Yep.
I won't go out there.
No. Mm-mm. Let them figure it out.
And if they don't, we just won't get him.
Right.
I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
We'll go catch another one.
Yeah. Like you said.
And,
go ahead.
Because I think when you get out there and you start shining that flashlight up there, you're writing a recipe for a real problem.
Really?
False treeing.
Oh. Yeah.
Because, every time if you're hunting at night, obviously when you walk up to that tree, you're shining that light. The very first thing you do, or at least first thing I do, is start kind of hissing them puppies to tree with the old dogs.
Right.
And so, they get in the habit of they see that light shine, everybody starts treeing harder because they know I'm getting ready to jump it out.
Right.
Well, if I'm out there looking for it that they didn't find, it's not going to be very long before they assume that I found it. Let's bark.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
And that's going to inevitably turn into, we're just not going to tree. We're just going to wait here.
Wait for him to get down here. He'll do it for us.
Right.
That makes sense.
So I just don't even go look.
Huh. That's interesting.
And that was one of the errors I made as a child, a kid, a young kid, is I would go do that. And they did quit treeing. And I asked Mr. Joe Lyon, who was my mentor back then, and my dad, they won't tree. Joe Lyon asked me, he said, what have you been doing? And I told him, he goes, that's why they won't tree. So I never did it again.
One of them hard lessons you got to learn.
That's right.
So, we touched a little bit on it earlier too, with your social media stuff, with the YouTube, you got Facebook, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of, houndsmen catch such a bad rep on there. And I'm sure you probably get backlash from certain people. All the time.
Yes.
All the time, But I've watched so many of your videos. God, I love watching your videos. Yours are one of the few videos of dog hunting stuff that I can go on there and watch and not get bored.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
thank you.
it's an art to making dog content to where I'm drawn in and I want to watch it. I don't want to. All right, I'm done watching your stuff. I want to go do it myself. Which is
Right,
fine.
right.
That's great.
Yeah, yeah.
And after first when your video ends, I'm like, there's no bobcats, and I don't have bobcat dogs, but I want to go try it. Let's go do
Yeah.
it. But
Yeah.
but I think you do a great job of showing a positive image on the sport and what you do, but also being completely honest with the viewers as well.
Well, I just tried to, when I started doing it, I was a lot like you. I searched a lot of dog hunting things on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And frankly, everything I saw, with the exception of a few bear hunts, was pretty damn boring.
Right. Right.
And in a lot of instances, and this is all because of my knowledge of television, but a lot of instances I was thinking to myself, man, the poor people that don't do this have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
So that's why I try to talk a lot, at least some, in the videos to kind of explain what's going on and what's happening. And then I try to cut out the parts that are going to get that bad backlash.
Yes. Right.
You will never see anything on my videos that I might send you in a text message.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Agreed. I mean, and that's the fine line of, getting and promoting how, not to sound weird, but how beautiful this sport is, and what we do as houndsmen is you got to know where the line is.
You do. And I told somebody on the page there one time, they were giving me a hard time about a bobcat in a tree. And I said, well, I want you to know something, that any time that I walk under that tree and I look up there and I see that bobcat, I have the option to call everything off and walk away.
Right.
You know, so you could, and a lot of people do it, and they do it in Oregon. My buddies do it in Oregon. And it's pretty much catch and release.
Right.
They just let them go.
Just let them go.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's not very many other hunting techniques where you have that option.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, even bear season up here, we have a training season for bear up here, and that's strictly what it is. You tree the bear, you pull your dogs, and you go back and go try somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's a catch and release.
But a lot of the negativity that you get is coming from a hub of emotion based on absolutely no education whatsoever.
Correct.
Us humans created the problem in the first place because we encroached on the habitat. So it is never going to be what it was before the human population got as big as it did.
Makes sense.
So the habitat shrunk.
Right.
Thus, the habitat has to be conserved. And that goes from the ungulates to the birds to the predators to everything else to create that balance, because we destroyed Mother Nature's balance.
Right. I've never heard it put like that, but that's 100% accurate.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
Regardless of the size. And, I know Texas is big. This ranch that I hunt is big.
Yeah.
But what would it be like if there were no conservation, if there were no hunting? We shot legally now, and this is going to blow some people's minds, 1,500 deer for clients on this ranch last year.
Right.
We got to do it again this year.
Yeah.
And if you don't do it, you will visibly see a browse line where the deer don't have enough to eat. Now, 100%, except for what the clients, 100% of the meat that the clients donated went to 3 different orphanages.
Wow, that's incredible.
So, you're helping the land, you're helping orphans, you're putting money in the local community.
Yep.
And all that they can do is complain about you harming a deer, harming a bobcat.
Right. The Hounds Tales podcast would like to take a minute and talk about our friends over at Cajun Lights. When pleasure running at night or judging those nighttime field trials, you can put your trust in Cajun Lights. With the economical Cajun Bayou for the every now and then light user, the Cajun Micro for the nighttime feeds and around the house times, Then then the top level Cajun blinder for those hardcore crossing getters at night. The Cajun lights are headlamp style light that free up your hands for voice recorders or your GPS. They offer flood style lights in red, amber, and a white walking light. Then the top of the line 4-level main beam light. If you're having a hard time catching crossings at night, give the Cajun light a try. And the red and amber setting to catch the game without distracting them, and with the easy flick of a switch, go back to your main beam light to catch your hounds in action and get those numbers. Visit their website today at CajunLights.com, and at the checkout, make sure you fill out the survey after your purchase and select Hounds Tales Podcast to receive 5% off your next purchase with Cajun Lights. Now, let's get back to the episode.
And
right.
we created the problem in the first place by encroaching on their habitat.
Yep.
So the hunters are really the only ones that are trying to keep it healthy and right.
Yeah, 100%.
While everybody else on the other side does nothing but complain based on emotion without a single fact involved.
Right. I've always said, I've said for years, all these people that are, like you said, basing their emotions on what they say, what they're looking for, and whether they be anti-hunting in general or anti-hound hunting in general. I've said it for years. Everybody that hunts, that owns a gun, should take a break for 2 years. Take a break for 2 years and then see who's the one crying. See what it does to the population.
It would turn around a lot, but at the same time, man, in my opinion, I think they are so out of touch with reality.
True.
That I don't know that you do any good. I mean, if you can't figure out whether you're a boy or a girl.
That's true. Right. If you're confused on the bathroom, yes. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's a mirror check, man. That ain't very hard to do.
Right. Right.
So, I don't know, but
yeah. I mean,
I'm gonna keep trying to portray it in a positive light. I'm very seldom am I gonna engage with those people on social media,
right,
at the level that they do.
Yes.
I do enjoy engaging with them. I'm sure you've seen some of my comments.
Yes. Yeah.
But I'm not gonna get to the using words that shouldn't be on there because children look at my page,
right,
or things of that nature. I'm not going to do that. And truthfully, like I've told many of them, I owe them a thank you, because I got the only Bobcat page in the world that's get over 1 million views a video.
I'm telling you.
And a lot of that is because of the comments from them. So I really owe them a thank you.
I was going to say, they just promoting you anyway.
They are, and I do appreciate I appreciate the hell out of it. I need to thank them while I'm on here.
So, I mean, you make a good point of, too, when you are, and there's a lot of guys that are will never stop people from posting videos. Will never stop people from putting stuff up.
Our worst enemy is us.
100%.
On two fronts, in my opinion. One, you've got the guy with the mentality that this is a free country. I will do what I want. I will post what I want. And if people don't like it, they can just whatever. Can't say that.
Yep.
You got that mentality. And the other is that if you put 10 hunters in a room, 9 of them won't get along.
Right.
And the other team is well funded. They're all on the same page. They're all organized.
Yep.
And that makes the fight difficult.
Yep. Extremely.
You know, we need to stand as one front. And, you run deer.
Yep.
I run cats.
Right.
I don't think any less of you because you run deer. In fact, I'd like to really invite myself to come watch that one time because I've never seen it.
Anytime.
But there's a lot of us that look down at me or you just because of what we run.
Right.
Oh, I'm a coyote hunter. You suck, Dan, because you run cats. Or you got the turkey, like Turkeys for Tomorrow, promotes a lot of trapping. Well, then I got on a podcast because I'm on the board of directors of Turkeys for Tomorrow. To defend trapping on a coon hunting podcast because the coon hunters were mad that we were promoting trapping. And my answer for it was, you can't get rid of, God alone is the only thing that can get rid of all the coon.
Right.
But more importantly, God forbid, guys, that you actually might have to go hunting. You might have to have a dog that's worth feeding. Right. I mean, that would suck.
So you got to look in the mirror sometimes too on those situations.
Man, I just think that we could do a better job of getting along, and we could have a little bit different attitude.
Yeah.
Because I've had a lot of success stories on the page too, of where somebody would engage with me in a negative way, but in a respectful way.
Right.
So when I got through having a 4 or 5 page discussion with them,
yep,
we were able to, at the end of it, say, just agree to disagree. You don't like it, don't watch it, but what I'm doing isn't hurting anything.
Right.
And we were able to agree on that and go on down the road.
Yep.
And, I think your 2-year hiatus would definitely help those people.
Right.
But those other ones,
yeah, that's a lost cause.
they're just as bad as the ones that are putting the YouTube stuff up of all the blood and guts.
Yes.
And I'm going to do what I want. If nobody don't like it, well, that is the extreme version of our opponents.
Right.
And, both of them need to go away.
Agreed. But, it absolutely, it infuriates me. It reminds me of the people that you work with, and they're like, well, he's not doing it, so I'm not going to do it. Those kind of guys. Like, no, that's just, it's not how that works. Let's grow up and let's be mature,
Mm-hmm.
It's the same guys, and I had a bad habit of, I'm not a huge fan of bow hunting. But I also learned that when you do bow hunting correctly, it's nothing wrong with it. But it's the guys that go out there and post the videos and post the shots of them taking an 80-yard shot with a bow and sticking them in the gut. Mm-hmm. And they're posting the videos of it. Like, come on, dude. Like, what are you doing? You're not helping anything. It's the same guys that are in.
No, they're not. But how many of those people do you think would actually go hunting if Instagram didn't exist?
True. True.
Not many.
Right.
They wouldn't. And I get asked, I'm given what I do in the outdoor industry, I get asked these topics all the time. And
yeah.
And I don't think there is a very good answer. Because I think that those people that are on that extreme side over there, there's no hope. There's no help. On both sides. I'm talking about hunters as well.
Yep.
I think we should really try to figure out a way to find a middle ground. Because you're absolutely right about bow hunters. They look down. So many of them look down on everybody else. A fly fisherman is the same way.
Yeah, 100%.
Hell, I went to jail in Islamorada, Florida over a fly fisherman back in the day when I didn't have a hell of a lot of good sense. I caught a big bonefish, and I was in the Worldwide Sportsman looking at T-shirts, and he said, "Are you here fishing?" And I said, "Yes, sir." And he said, "Have you caught anything?" I said, "Man, today, you're not going to believe this, but I just caught the world record bonefish on 8-pound test line." And he said, "Oh, did you catch it on fly?" And I went, "No, sir, it's a spinning tackle." And he goes, "Oh, that didn't count." And I knocked him through the clothes rack. And I got frowned upon for that kind of behavior. But
well, it sounded like he needed a lesson learned, but
he did. No, he did not. He didn't. It might have been, 20-year-old with maybe some of those Mai Tais you were talking about.
Right.
Just some bad decision making, but. Yeah, the inner bickering is a big problem. And,
I don't know I don't know if it's changed in your direction, but I know up here around us, it's not fixed 100%, but I have noticed a good shift in the bear hunters versus deer hunters, the coon hunters versus these guys, the whatever versus these guys in the hunting community.
That's great. It's pretty much non-existent here.
Right.
It
Right.
just, Texas is like its own country. It's just different people.
Yeah.
There isn't outside of Austin. I mean, they could drop a bomb on Austin and help the humanity, but everything else
sounds like DC up here.
Yeah, everything else in Texas is people don't do that. There's not very many animal rights people.
Yeah.
There's not, and there's certainly not going to be a guy here. There's a guy here in town. His name's Arlen that coon hunts. And he's not going to look down on somebody for cat hunting or coyote hunting. And the bow hunters really aren't going to either for the most part.
Yeah.
But I do notice it a lot outside of this state. I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
It really does.
And it's a shame. It's a shame. We're all doing the same purpose. They're all after the same goal, just in different forms, different ways of doing it. And it's a respect. And, and I think that's, I've been told before when I started this podcast, I had a lot of backlash, and I'm sure you did when you started the YouTube page and started getting bigger and bigger, of social media will be the death of houndsmen. And I think I see their point, talking about those guys that don't care, that have the holier than thou attitude, the guys that don't know any better about putting things that you should not have on there. But you also need the guys like you, I hope that this podcast produces, some of my videos, the short videos that I'm actually able to put up and that kind of thing. We need guys like that to promote it in a healthy way, to promote it in a good way. And that, to me, shows that social media and videos and doing it correctly, it will be the saving grace of
social media, in my opinion, is no different than a pocket knife or your pistol. It's only as dangerous as you make it.
Exactly. Agreed. 110%.
You can use it for positive or you can use it for negative. There's a guy, I'm not going to mention any names because we're friends. I like him, but I disagree. He's up there by you, and he hunts cats and fox. And he will hold up a fox in 8 pieces.
Yep.
Literally.
Right.
And put it on social media.
Yep.
And I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Yep. Don't need that.
No.
Yep.
If it's going to be like that, just say I caught one or something.
Right.
My gosh.
Leave the rest to the imagination. Right.
And the hog hunters are the worst. And my son is a hog hunter, and he's a very good one.
Yep.
And he's got, not because he's my son, but he's got the best hog dogs I've ever seen. But the other people, they got 14 bulldogs hanging off of a pig that weighs 30 pounds, and they're zooming in with a $20,000 camera and lights as they stick a knife in him that long,
right,
and expect to not get backlash.
We're going to take a quick second and pause this episode and talk about our partners over at Elite Nutrition. Our hounds, they're athletes, guys. They give us their all each and every time that they're casted. Elite Nutrition offers an all-natural products to give your dogs the natural benefits they deserve. From the canine remove and all-natural wormer to the Electro Boost paste for an electrolyte replenishment, body fluid balance, and blood flow improvement. They also have products like Active Dog Powder for recovery and joint muscle support, Essential Dog Powder for daily vitamins and minerals, probiotics, prebiotics, and enzymes, and then the Canine Lactate Powder for nursing dogs to help with milk supply. There are tons of other products for y'all to check out at CajunLights.com. Then click on the Elite Nutrition section to explore. When you go check out, only at CajunLights.com, use the code HTElite10 to receive 10% off your Elite Nutrition products. Again, that's HTELITE, the number 10, to receive 10% off Elite Nutrition products only via CajunLights.com. I've been using their products over the past couple months, and I could not be happier with the results. See for yourself today, and we want to thank Elite Nutrition for taking a step forward into this field trial sport. Now, let's get back to the episode, guys. Yeah. They're like, oh, it's a nuisance species. It should be okay. Like, no, no, it's not.
It's not okay. It's not okay. It's fine with me that you do that.
Right. Go for it. Have fun.
But it's not okay that you show people and give them ammunition.
Exactly. Yeah. Kind of like guys in Carolina. It's perfectly legal to shoot off the highway in North Carolina. And I'm like, come on, we don't need videos of you sitting on your dog box in the middle of the highway firing 10 rounds out of your gun going down down the road.
You don't, but people blur the line between legal and right.
You're correct.
It's perfectly legal for you to take and go to supper tonight and not tip your waitress too.
Right.
But it ain't right.
Yep. That's a good analogy. That's a really good analogy. Yeah. It's and I think this was a conversation that I like having with other guys, other houndsmen that are promoting the sport but doing it correctly on social media, because it is such a dangerous place and it is such a tiptoe kind of environment, and it sucks that you have to be like that. Of course we'd love to be able to put a lot of stuff out there, but we're doing our part, and you're doing your part in protecting the sport and showing how beautiful it is. So I mean, I just want to thank you for doing what you do. It's not easy. It's a lot of work involved, and you do a great job, and we really do appreciate what you do.
I really appreciate the compliments, but I am a closet nerd. Don't tell anybody. And if I could pick this screen up and just walk right over there around that corner, you would look at a camera rack and you would know that I've got a real problem with nerdistry.
I get it. I get it. If I had more time in my life, I would probably do the same thing. But
but I do. I appreciate the compliments, and I'm very glad that everyone likes them. And we're getting ready to gear up, and as soon as I get done guiding elk hunts, I'll be turning them out again very soon.
That's awesome. I love it. Yeah. I love it. So, you mentioned it earlier about wanting the experience of deer dog hunting. What are some other forms of hound hunting that maybe you haven't been able to try that you'd like to get to experience?
Deer. That's it.
Deer. Yeah.
I've run jaguar.
Wow.
I've run leopard. I've done a lot of things with hounds.
That's awesome. I guess that'd be over there in Africa.
Yes. Leopards was in Bolivia.
Okay.
But the leopard. I'm sorry. Jaguars were in Bolivia. The leopards were in Africa.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I bet that's a wild chase.
It is. We came home with no dogs.
Golly, no kidding.
Yeah, the Jaguars don't play games.
I bet. Yeah, I bet that's a whole different breed over there.
Yeah, it is. And that they're red list extinct according to a lot of places, but then they're carrying children out of villages all over South America. So somebody's not telling the truth.
Yeah. Problems are happening.
Yeah, but down in South America, it's very easy to walk into a community leader's house and say, here's $500 American. Say that you've never seen a jaguar. So, it's very easy to get answers you want.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Well, we can definitely make something happen. We'll have to do some hunt swapping, and you'll have to come up here and experience some deer dog hunting.
I think you definitely need to come down here this winter. Anytime after November works for me. Even if I have a client, you can just go with us.
Right.
And spend 3 or 4 days, and we'll go catch a bunch of cats. We'll run them with everybody's dogs.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll go get after them.
I want to do that something fierce. If I can make that work, we will definitely do that.
Absolutely, try and make it work, because December and January will be your best, but anytime after the 1st of November, we're good to go.
Gotcha.
We can hunt cats all evening, and we can blow ducks up in the morning.
Now we talking. Now we talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, you come up here and we'll definitely show you a good time. Maybe towards the end of the season.
Yeah,
is usually our best time. It's this weather, the climate's then shifted, and it don't start getting cold till middle of December. Good to where it makes it for good deer dog hunting up here.
Right.
Man, you come up here about mid-season and after, man, it's a blast, man.
I just would like to see it sometime, because I've never seen it.
Yeah.
And I've seen videos of it, but that's not the same.
No. There's no video that you can capture, in my opinion, to really grasp how a deer chase works on with the
Yeah,
dogs.
yeah, I have no idea. The only ones I've ever seen, I was shocking dogs. We weren't supposed to be doing that.
Yeah. Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. All right, guys, one last interruption real quick on this episode. Want to take a second and give a big shout out to our friends at Low 10 Outfitters. Our apparel for not only the podcast, but for the pin series for this year is up and live. If you visit low10outfitters.com, you can purchase your Hounds Tales podcast apparel. There'll be hats and t-shirts. And then if you're a part of the pin series or want to just help out with the series and go order some shirts, don't forget you can get those shirts too. It can be shipped directly to your door. Then if you're also looking for custom apparel for your kennel or just a dog in general, whatever you want, check their whole website out. There's plenty of stuff that they offer with great products. Thoroughly impressed with everything that I've gotten from them. I still have a hoodie that when I first got into this sport, I got, this has been 3 or 4 years ago now, and it has not lost any life in it yet. So be sure to check these guys out, low10outfitters.com, and thank y'all. I want to thank them for their partnership, and thank y'all for listening, guys. All right, let's get back to the episode. So, man, we're getting up here to the end of this thing. We're hitting all the end of our topics, man. I got one closing topic, and I'll kind of rattle you a little bit and see what you can come up with on this one.
All right.
What do you think, as houndsmen, what do you think we need to do to give the next generation a chance to enjoy what we do? Like, what is one of our biggest things that we need to improve on as houndsmen that is going to preserve this sport so that my kids can enjoy it and his kids after?
Several things. One, and most importantly, is to do like my parents did and many of that generation and keep the spiritual guidance alive in our children, to know right from wrong, and to raise these children correctly, to do away with this mindset of, I want my children to avoid the hardships that I had, because those hardships made you.
Yeah, agreed.
Nobody remembers the easy stuff.
Right.
That, because if children are raised correctly and they're around hounds and hunting, they're going to automatically do it. But more importantly, they're going to do it in a positive light for not their generation, but for the one following that.
Right.
Now, I am the way I am because of my dad.
Yeah.
I hunt hounds for him, but I create because of him, but I create the videos that I create that don't show the stuff that we have previously talked about.
Yep.
Because of how I was raised. He never said, don't show a picture of that.
Yeah. Right.
But he instilled enough sense in me and my brother to know automatically that right and wrong line is very straight and very thin. And it's very, very easy to be on the wrong side of that. And I think that also in doing that, it all comes down to the raising of the child, in that most of the people that put bad things out there or say bad things do so because they're surprised they caught it.
True.
And they have absolutely no self-confidence whatsoever, which I consider to be the plague of this century. And when you look in the mirror and you don't like what you see, then you have to make up a bunch of things to get attention. And that doesn't come down to your hounds. That doesn't come down to, your success with a bow.
Right.
That comes down to what happened in the first 10 years of your life.
Right.
So I think that's the most important. And as far as specifically of the hounds, I think you have to take the time to get the children out there. Take the time to not get so caught up in what that pack of hounds is doing, and explain to that young person what's going on at their level, so that they can understand it and create a curiosity within them.
Yep.
that makes them want to do that.
Right.
Because if you are the guy that's so in tune to that race, and that little kid wants to ask you a question, and your first knee-jerk reaction is, shh, be quiet.
Right.
Well, you probably just ruined that. Hey, I'm not going to do this. This isn't any fun.
Yep.
That kind of thing. That's my opinion. I think it goes way beyond just the hunting aspect of it.
I agree.
Is to raise good people and teach them the definitions between right and wrong, and everything else will fall into place.
I like that. That's a great angle at that.
At the end of the day, the bow hunter, the fly fisherman, or the hound hunter, it doesn't matter how successful or unsuccessful they may be.
Yep.
They're either going to be a positive contribution to society or they're not, regardless of whether they hunt.
Yeah.
And the right and wrong line has been so blurred in the last 25 or 30 years that we have to get by that, or the next generation isn't going to have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be too busy fighting a civil war to go hunting.
Right. Common sense is the word that comes to mind.
Yes.
Is the phrase that comes
Common
to mind.
sense.
It's just lost.
Yeah, and make
lost.
it fun. And on a simple level, you make it fun for them.
Yeah, I agree.
And you take the time. Yes, it is a major pain in the butt to take it. I've got a 4-year-old granddaughter.
Yeah.
And taking her cat hunting is right in there in the top 2 or 3 worst ideas you could possibly come up with.
Right.
But I do it.
Yep.
And I answer all the questions.
Yep.
And I take too long to get to the tree because I have to carry her because I'm worried about snakes.
Yep.
And we would get there and she's asking questions and I can't hear her because the dogs are screaming bloody murder.
Yep.
I walk away from the tree, I talk to her, and then I've got to try to jump the cat out because she's scared for me to put her down. And it's a pain in the butt.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, the only thing that is going to be left of me when I'm gone is her memory of me.
Yep.
And it can be one little thing that I said or did that will keep that right and wrong line clear for her.
Yep.
And it'll all be worth it because all them cat dogs are going to be my sons at some point.
Exactly.
And he's going to be doing it his way, not my way.
Right. Yeah. I'm with you.
That's what I think is important.
I agree. And I have a 3.5-year-old, and I caught myself several times saying, even as something as simple as going to feed.
Yeah.
He's like, Daddy, I want to go with you. And I'm like, and it's a time crunch. I'm like, son, I don't have time. And I did that once or twice, and I stopped myself after the second time. I said, you know what? I don't care if it does make it take an extra 45 minutes. He's going to come.
Yeah.
He's going to come.
I wasn't this way when my son, I was much younger. My son's almost 30 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was younger, we'd go out there hunting, and I'm guilty as hell of that, shh, be quiet.
Right.
Don't rattle that bag of chips. I can't hear.
Right.
But I finally, it was, my wife that told me, she goes, you ought to make this a little bit more fun for him. And she was 100% correct.
Yeah.
But my 4-year-old shot her first deer.
Look at that. That's a nice one, too. I love it. Well, and that's the thing, man. And I've never heard it put like that and brought to light like that, but you're 100% correct. It's so easy to get caught up in, and I catch myself doing it all the time, is I'm very serious about my hounds, and I'm very adamant about what they're doing and what's going on, and I do forget sometimes that I have to make it fun for him or he will not carry this on.
Yeah, and another thing is humbleness. That line gets blurred a lot too. I know, and this is going to sound horrible, but it's the truth. I know I catch more bobcats than everybody. That's the truth.
Right.
But I have a real hard time talking about that.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't make me a better houndsman. I just live in a really good spot.
Right. I get that.
That
makes sense.
And a lot of these blowhards that are doing things that are detrimental to what we love, have a problem with arrogance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they just beat their chest.
Mm-hmm.
And that needs to go away because that sends off a bad vibe.
Yep.
And,
Yep.
and it all go. And you know, the only reason that I brought it up is because I was asked this very question before, and over the years I've thought about it, and it isn't about starting the kids young deer hunting or bobcat hunting or whatever it may be. That's got nothing to do with it. 99.9% of the children are going to do what dad does.
Right.
But if you raise that child right, then he's going to do what dad does and automatically be a positive light to the sport.
Right.
But if you don't, then he's going to still do what dad does, but he's going to be the horse's ass that's beating his chest.
Yep. Agreed.
So that's where I stand on that.
That makes a lot of sense. And I really love that. I haven't heard, I've asked that question to several guests on the show, and I've never heard that approach from it. I have a ton of respect for that, and I love that.
Well,
so
I just
definitely
think that,
appreciate that.
The knee-jerk answer is to attack it on a very simple level.
Yeah.
You know, but you've got to think about the guy that say he's a quail hunter, and he's got one pointer, and he gets off work at best 3 times a year to go run his quail dog. Well, there's a good chance that his son or daughter is probably not going to get into quail hunting just terribly strong.
Right.
But on the few times that they do it, if they're raised right, there's still going to be a positive influence on the quail hunting world.
Right.
Because they're good people.
Yep.
And conversely, if they're not, they're going to be the exact opposite. And that runs the gamut across the board. I don't care if you're a diesel mechanic.
Right. Yeah.
So
agreed.
That's my thoughts on it.
I love it.
You know, and my son is 30 years old, and I promise you, when you come here to go cat hunting, if he goes with us, he will walk up to you and look you in the eye, shake you in the hand, and say, "I'm Daniel Braman, sir. Nice to meet you."
Yes, sir. That's right.
You know, he'll do that. You know, I don't know if I backhand him. He's 6'4". But there was a time when I would have. But I don't know about now. I might just
be testing the limits a little bit.
Yeah, I might just mean look him now. I don't know if
I love it. I love it. Well, buddy, I've thoroughly enjoyed this, and I really cannot thank you enough for coming on here. It was truly an honor. You know, it's been a couple months in the making now.
It has. We had some technical issues, but I really enjoy the opportunity. I appreciate you letting me come on here.
Yeah. Yep.
I still haven't gotten used to talking about my hounds because I feel like I'm being one of the chest beaters, but
it's tough.
I'm really not. But
it's tough. Being proud and arrogant is a fine line, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm proud. The hound that I have in my head can't possibly exist.
Yeah, right.
But so long as I keep chasing him, I'm gonna make some pretty good ones along the way.
That's it. That's it. Well, man, I surely do appreciate you coming on here. For everybody that is listening too, that may not know where your channel is, where can we find you, and how do we look you up?
YouTube under Melon Creek Outfitters.
Okay.
And the social media is all Melon Ranch Hounds, and that Melon is with 1 L.
1 L. Yep. Gotcha. Perfect. Well, like I said, guys, man, if y'all haven't gone and experienced any of these videos, you definitely need to go check them out. I'm going to try to remember as I post it, when I do post this episode, that I'm going to try to link it in the post, but we'll make sure to give you some good shout outs, man, and I definitely appreciate you. Is there anybody you want to thank before you get off here?
There is Dog and Hunt Supply. It's on my shirt here because if it wasn't for Summer Reynolds, who owns that company in Arkansas, I would not have the success that I have. She is the best at getting me things when things break, and she's the best, man.
Yeah.
I can't say enough good things about her. She is absolutely amazing. But other than that, just thank you for thinking enough of me to have me on your podcast, and maybe we can do it again sometime.
Absolutely. I'll definitely. And
I really suggest that you maybe hit up my brother when he, because he's I'll turn the computer on for him because he
I was
can't
gonna
do
say
it.
you may have to get them all set
Well,
up.
yeah, I'll get it turned on, and then I'll get him a little high chair because he kind of be down here a little bit. But he is arguably the best houndsman that I personally know.
Gotcha. Awesome.
He's forgotten more about hounds than I'll ever know.
Incredible.
He's just natural at it.
I love it.
He's very good at it, and I would consider giving him a ring at some point and
Yeah, absolutely.
getting him on here. Yeah,
I would
he's got
love that.
a lot of insight, and I would lean that discussion more toward the how-tos with
Yep.
hounds,
Right.
because I'm telling you, he can make hounds do things that I wish
Got away
I
with
could.
him.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it pains me greatly to admit that, but he's pretty good at it, man.
It sounds like I need to have both of y'all here on the same time.
No, that's a fight. We don't even go hunting together.
I love it. I love it. All right, guys. Well, everybody out there listening, thank y'all so much. Like I said, be sure to check them out on all their social medias. If you haven't liked us on whatever listening platform you're using, be sure to give us a like and a follow, and we'll keep on bringing them to you. So thank y'all so much for listening, guys, and like always, happy hunting.